Hey there guys, my name is Sumit Chatterjee from the Flow Zone Academy, and I'm a flow state coach, which means that I help you feel better and perform better. So today I want to speak about the concept of being a heart-based anything, okay? Heart-based entrepreneur, heart-based coach, a heart-based practitioner, or a heart-based yoga teacher. What exactly is heart-based living? So I just want to say that this is a little bit of my own perspective, as well as what I've kind of seen and explored myself. So the first thing that I want you to know is you almost have to become a love biohacker, okay? I know that sounds kind of weird, but you have to understand that we live in a world of neurochemistry and hormones, okay? So being able to really use your dopamine, serotonin, oxytocin, all of these different hormones will get you to actually make you feel good and feel much more heart-based, okay? And I'll get into heart breathing in a little bit later into this video. So the first thing I want you to note is you want to go into different situations with a kind of mindset that you are coming from your heart. Okay, it's a mindset, but it's also a heart set, okay? Your mindset, but you also have your heart set and your gut set. So once these three are in alignment, then you're coming from that heart base, because the heart is almost like the mediator between the gut and the mind, right? It's like right in between. So it's almost like the portal. And the way that I think of it is like once you can come from the heart, and even like if you're being confrontational with someone, if you look at it as carefrontation, if you constantly fine-tune each and every experience that you're having into Love FM. I got this from Ryan Pinnock when I first met him. He was talking about how if we could tune our frequencies to Love FM, it just starts to make everything brighter and become just much more freer and better. You know what I'm saying? So how do you actively do that? Well, you have to sort of set the intention and change the mindset and the heart set and the gut set. Okay, so the gut set can be changed throughout, probiotics and like eating healthy and all that kind of stuff. But how do you actually exercise your heart muscles, right? Aerobic, anaerobic exercise sounds like it, like cardiovascular exercise, right? No, I'm not talking about that kind of heart exercise. I'm talking about heart coherence, okay? Now, they've done different studies, especially if you look into the work of Joe Dispenza. There's work with, if your heart coherence is off, there are these jagged lines, and when they're in coherence, when your heart is in coherence, there's like these smooth lines. It's like almost living in alignment or living in the flow state, right? And so just start to recognize that you want to feel in alignment with whatever it is that you're doing. You want to lean into the excitement in whatever it is that you're doing. If you're finding that something seems off or something doesn't make sense, chances are it probably isn't, okay? So the way to start from this kind of heart-centered balance is, first of all, having a sense of curiosity, a huge curiosity factor, and then moving from there into a lot more passion. Okay. Now, passion is something that we can actually bring to the mundane and everyday situations. We've got to normalize passion, okay? We've made it abnormal to be passionate in this culture. However, when we can normalize it more, it becomes frequency, right? We can actually live from it. So first is curiosity. Second thing that I would say is value your expression and your internal dialogue in your words, because how you're speaking to yourself is really important. Oftentimes we don't speak on how we feel. I feel sad, I feel content, I feel confused. So when you can actually say that out loud, right? Like let's say I feel lonely, right? And somebody else responds, I feel your loneliness and that's okay. Like oftentimes we don't have those heart-based conversations with people. We don't open up our hearts. We have heart walls, okay? When we build heart walls, we don't want to get vulnerable ever. It's like we just want to block out everything that sounds like it's intimacy or sounds like it's kind of scary to delve deep into it. And I had to struggle with this a lot of my life. Like this is like been one of my missions, is like kind of cascading and getting past those heart walls and breaking them down and building them back up and breaking them down. So when you notice you have these heart walls, you have these blocks, these internal blocks in your heart, maybe you were heartbroken, right? And the word itself, it's like, it's broken, right? But now it's time to put the pieces back together by actually healing yourself through going in, doing the inner work, finding a heart-based mentor, perhaps, even, and just working through that, working through the shame, working through the pain body, working through the trauma. So that really helps. And the expression, in terms of an emotional expression and emotional intelligence, will really help you open up this area in that heart. And also speaking your truth, okay? The third thing that I would say is value alignment, okay? So if your values are going against what you're doing, like your actions are going against your values, you're going to feel out of alignment. And if your thoughts, words, and actions are not in alignment, you're constantly going to feel like this eroding of the heart. You're going to feel like a hollow feeling in your heart. And if you keep telling yourself, I'm going to go do this, and then you don't follow through on that, guess what? You're going to keep feeling this hollow feeling. So my advice to you is just like try and do little things each day that you say you're going to do, and do them, and make sure you have your list of beliefs somewhere that you can see them and keep revisiting them. Let's say that trust is one of your top values. Well, if you're lying to yourself and you're lying to other people, guess what? That's not one of your values. And you're going against your values and you're feeling like a hypocrite for doing that. And then guess what? Your heart is being a lot more trapped. It doesn't have a space to move around. It doesn't have that coherence yet, because it's noticing this inauthenticity. It's noticing this block there. Okay? So essentially you want to really figure out a way to be more vulnerable with the self, be more present with the self, and actually fine-tune the time that you can do that with yourself. Okay? Even if it's just sitting with yourself and just tuning into the heart and just breathing into your heart. Well, that sounds weird, but imagine your lungs giving your heart power, like it's generating power from your lungs to your heart. Like, imagine it's being filled up with gratitude. Okay. It helps to release with a kind of sound, like a sigh. The sigh is like a releasing of pressure. It's like a tire being punctured, okay? So when you do it with a sigh, it's a lot more effective. In my own opinion, my personal perspective, I think that's just because I'm also an auditory learner. So if you are, you like hearing the kind of impact that you're having on your own biochemistry, then it's nice to have a sigh, okay? So you can say something like, I choose peace, what is my heart telling me right now? You can start tuning in and actually speaking to your heart as if it was like a signal, like if it was a transmitter or a translator. Like, what is my heart telling me right now? Let's say it's afraid, well, that's where your work is, right? I feel afraid, okay? That's where your work is with your heart-based approach right now, right? We run away from the pain. I'm telling you to go into it now. You really start to understand it more, okay? It might be unknown to you. You might be ignorant to the pain. So you're numbing it, blocking it out more. But if you understand the pain, then you can take power over it. So that's what I would say. And also, this heart breathing approach, and make sure you have your sort of shoulders back too, and nice posture as you're doing this. It's really amazing, this feeling. If you can do this for at least 2 to 5 minutes even, it's just monumental shifts in your heart-based nature. Because, really the 5D, the 5/5 density approach that we're going into slowly is more about coming from the heart. Okay, so if you have that within you and you have the understanding that your heart is going to be a huge self-correction device and a way for you to actually understand where you can ease, then it's going to really help you out. And of course, this is associated with oxytocin, the love and the trust hormone. That's associated with childbirth, mother to child, bonding, sex, physical touch and affection, social media, petting a dog, eye contact, when you listen with someone with your eyes, you're listening with your eyes, so the intense eye contact with someone that feels that physical closeness with them and that connection with them. That's that oxytocin happening. You're falling in love with someone as you're looking at them. And once you can generate that oxytocin within yourself, you can build that trust and that love for the self, then you can broadcast it out like Love FM onto the world. Right? Because if you don't do the inner work yourself, there's going to be an incongruency. Okay, you're going to be like, oh, everybody always betrays me. I can't trust people. I have to be like, you're going to build these ideas and these stereotypes around your own life. And that's going to become like almost like your reticular activating system, right? You're going to look out for people who are suspicious. And of course, it's good to have, discernment and be alert. But at the same time, you want to really build that trust within the self first, so you're solid and you know yourself really well, so that you can also know others. Okay, there's this quote where even without looking outside the window, you know the whole world, right? How? Well, the internal world, as within, so without. Okay, so really spend time with yourself, and also, dive in, DTL. Okay, dive in, tune in, and lighten up. Lighten up meaning like notice where your body feels heavy. Okay, when your body feels heavy, you're probably not in a heart-based approach. Something seems off and wrong. You're feeling some resistance somewhere in some client, in some person that you're talking to, and you're not bringing it up at all. So I feel this weird tension coming right now, and I don't know how to tell this to you, but I feel like something is off between our communication, and I'd really appreciate it if you gave me some time to do this some other time, because right now it doesn't seem like it synchronizes with what I'm doing right now. Right? That's a heart-based approach, essentially. Like, you're being honest, you're being truthful. You're also, you're not holding your heart up on a pedestal, but you're also giving it the respect, attention, and fine-tuning the heart as required. Right? You're sort of giving it the praise and the attention it needs, so that it can sit up on the throne of this temple and really be able to understand that you're coming from a vibrational frequency that is going to enchant people and enchant the world as you come from that place. Alright? So I hope you enjoyed this video. Have an amazing day. May the flow be with you and stay legend.